What's up and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Borderlands 1 because damn it, it deserves love too. And to anybody who doesn't like this game, either just hear me out or drop your dislike and comment why and head out now. This video is not for you. So with that out of the way and the ugly ducks have now become sitting ducks, while BL1 might not be my all-time game of the franchise, it's still by a landslide my second favorite. So let's give it some well-deserved recognition and attention for the accomplishments this title was able to achieve. While not lighting the world on fire, it was still a successful release at the time, selling over 2 million copies by the end of 2009. And before the year was up, players were greeted to not one, but 2 DLCs for this game, with the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned coming out in October and everyone's favorite piece of content, Mad Moxxi's Underdome Riot, coming out in December. While one of those DLCs may not have been the greatest thing in the world, I'd argue that the Zombie Island DLC is one of the greatest of all time for the series, really giving it that Left 4 Dead and World at War Zombies vibe that was going around in the 2000s, which spiced up the game as a lot of your main Borderlands 1 is just a Mad Max wasteland vibe. So seeing the world in a very undead state was a look and aesthetic that we have still yet to see again. And the final DLCs were released in 2010 to put a nice little bow on Borderlands, right? Well, not exactly. There's a lot that was dated about the OG Borderlands. Simple quality of life features like no minimap, no FOV slider, and much more were added in the remaster that was made in 2019, coined Borderlands Game of the Year Edition Enhanced. As if Borderlands Game of the Year Edition wasn't already a long enough title. And for anybody arguing that this game isn't great, or that it didn't have a standing impact on us, then why was it remastered 10 years after the fact? Now, I want to talk about some of the underappreciated aspects of this game that are commonly underlooked. The weapon proficiencies, the most RPG feeling mechanic of any of the Lands games in my opinion. Being able to see the progress in separate statistics was one of the best ideas that this game brought to the table, and unfortunately we haven't seen it since. And for anybody confused with the way the system works, if I've been blasting through enemies with a majority of shotguns on my brick, which I have been on this character that you'll see in the gameplay, you'll see I'm getting a nice little boost, which is much appreciated, as I've been using shotguns more than the other weapons in the game, so why not give me a little boost for my shotguns? And if you want to level up the other weapons proficiencies, well then just continue to use those types of weapons. You actually get rewarded for using more of certain weapons in this game by leveling the proficiency connected to each weapon type. I wish they would have had this in BL2. Could you imagine how even more broke Salvador would be with his pistols if this system had made a return? But that's not the only reason I would want it to return. It's not just for the extra damage, but it gives you something extra to do after hitting the max level, which after Borderlands 2, a majority of the titles have really struggled when it comes to an endgame. This system was simple enough and fun enough to keep the players engaged by seeing their stats rise as they battle through Pandora with their favorite weapons. Whether you are using a lot of snipers on Mordecai or SMGs on Maya, I think you'll find that the proficiency system was a welcome addition to the Land series, because the proficiencies get heavy praise by me. Even though it's simple, I catch myself looking at these stats every time I get a character rolling in Borderlands 1. It's that something extra that I feel we're really missing, which brings me to my next aspect of Borderlands 1 that not enough people give credit. In my opinion, this game is the most balanced endgame we've ever seen for a Lands game. As in Borderlands 2, you have the OP levels splitting the men from the boys, while also making the endgame less diverse and splintering off part of the community. Mayhem levels and chaos chambers to give players migraines. Really, other than the pre-sequel, which was never fully fleshed out, Borderlands 1 stands completely alone as the most balanced and complete experience in the entire franchise. And yes, this game has its issues. Memory leaks and game-breaking bugs still plaguing it till this very day, even on the remastered version. But beneath all the dirty laundry, at the end of the game, you have pearls, hybrids, Cromarax, General Knox's armory, challenges, and the Underdome if you have the balls. All not to mention the weapon proficiencies from earlier. There's a lot to love about the later levels here, including the ever-increasing loot chase even after you reach level 69. As the items scale much differently than later games, as a level 20 Hellfire can bring you much further in Borderlands 1, compared to say the same gun at the same level in Borderlands 2. The Borderlands 2 version will fall off much quicker than the original from BL1. And that doesn't necessarily mean that this is why the Hellfire from the first game is better. It simply just comes down to how the items are scaled out. In Borderlands 1, a level 20 Hellfire can bring you to the end of the game. And the fact that weapons don't always drop on level makes players who go back to this one very confused, as guns don't always drop right on level. While the loot can't be easily over leveled, there's also an abundance of awesome weapons to use in this game. Some working better on other characters than others, and a lot of them being usable across all of the Vault Hunters, which I see this as a huge plus, as less garbage gear dropping equals more time to actually play. All the different versions of the uniques, legendaries, and pearls also make the chase that much more exciting, even if you have some of the best stuff in the game. There's always a chance you could get a better version or just a flat out upgrade in every way, which I freaking love. And sure, that's the same for a lot of the other titles, but there's just something about getting a crazy double anarchy or a nasty defiler. No matter how many times I've played it or how many times I've seen these guns drop, I'll never not get excited for a good legendary in Borderlands 1. And man, times all that by 3 when a pearl drops, because hot damn, this ain't no Borderlands 2 drop rates, no sir. You want some of the best guns in the game? You gotta earn it, sir. And that's what I love. The old school mindset of if you want the best, you have to earn it. And they've really strayed away from this in the more recent entries, as they just like to toss legendary gear at you left and right. I recently started a Borderlands 1 playthrough here on my live streams on YouTube, a series where I'll attempt to 100% Borderlands 1, the pre-sequel, and finish up with the second game, all in order to complete the 300% Borderlands challenge. Just a little fun idea started by my crazy, stupid, and potentially psychotic self. But after the first stream 2 nights ago, I almost reached level 20 on my new Roland. You want to guess how many legendaries I have? Not a damn one. Other than artifacts, which I don't really count as they're all the same rarity, not one orange item has been seen. While I'm sure I'll get one when I go live for episode 2 on Saturday, it's a testament to how different the series was in its infancy. Difficult at its core, with earning your own dominance being the overall goal. It's not just about getting to the end like most video games. It's not about repeating the same thing 100 times and calling it replay value, or donkey stomping through the game with an all legendary loadout at level 15. Borderlands 1 nailed the balance and in-game perfectly in my opinion. And while yes, there are plenty of things that this game did great that I didn't mention, that's just further proof to how damn good this game is. And what's your favorite part about Borderlands 1? Please let me know down in the comments below. What is the most overlooked feature or aspect of it that you think deserves more love? Please let me know in the comments below. And sure, Borderlands 2 went on to improve upon and even perfect some of what Borderlands laid the foundations for. And sure, Borderlands 2 went on to improve upon and even perfect some of what Borderlands laid the foundation for. But I'll always look at it this way, and I said this in one of my most recent videos. Borderlands 1 had to crawl, so Borderlands 2 could stand up and walk. The reason I say all of this is because yeah, it may not hold up as good as it once did in 2009, but we have a lot to thank this game for. Not only that, but without it, we wouldn't have got the cult classic that is Borderlands 2. So whether you're like me and you love it, or you can't stand it and you think it's a horrible game, let's all come together for a moment and have a toast. An appreciation for Borderlands 1, the game that started it all. But yeah, that's really all I've got for you guys today. I hope you all did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure to smash a like on it and subscribe if you guys are new. I post new Borderlands videos every single Friday and Sunday, with streams coming on Wednesday and Saturday. Keep your eyes peeled for those and tap the notification bell if you have not already. Because if you're at all interested in catching some classic Borderlands 1 live, I'll be live streaming again this Saturday here on YouTube at 8 p.m. CST, where I will continue my journey to 300% the original trilogy. We don't talk about Borderlands 3. But hey, I don't really got much more to say, guys. I love you all to death. Please give Borderlands 1 a little bit of praise in the comments below, even if you don't have anything to add. I just appreciate you for watching the video this far or smashing the like button if you did. Please take it easy out there. Stay safe. Catch you guys on Sunday. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.